Hello, my beautiful Aries. Have to give you the wink. It's tradition now. It's been ingrained in our tradition together. And are you all ready for June? Are you? Because this month is wild with the energy. I mean, we are talking 2 eclipses, the final half of Venus retrograde, the beginning of Mercury retrograde in Cancer, the beginning of Neptune retrograde, and Mars moving into Aries. Did I even cover all of it? I'm not sure, because there's so much happening this month that listing it out feels almost overwhelming. Of course, I think the biggest things we can notice here is that we have this full moon in Sagittarius, which is a lunar eclipse. It's only going to be kind of partially visible, but it's happening in that Sagittarian energy, fellow fire sign, illuminating how you want to move through this world, what you want to make of this life, and where your world views and your world visions are shifting and changing, and what is crumbling away to reveal a new path. And the new moon in Cancer solar eclipse, which will be visible from parts of Asia and Africa, that's happening on June 21st. Now that is hitting into this 4th house of home and family. So one is all about your big vision, who you want to be, wild and free, and one is about really the most intimate parts of yourself. And we also, of course, are finishing up our Venus retrograde, which we are doing so much fun, deep work with over on Patreon. I would love to see you over there if you want to join me. We are getting deep every single week. We're going to have a big closeout ceremony. We're also going to be working deep with these eclipses. So I'd love to see you over there if you want more exercises, a little bit more space with me. It's a really affordable way to connect with me. But this is a big month. That's my point. Not only that, but this is one of my favorite months because this is the summer solstice up here in the northern hemisphere, and it is so magical. This is a point at which we can completely tap in to who we are becoming. And it's a great check-in point too, because we have arced across this whole half of the year, and how much has happened and how much have we changed in 6 months, right? So this is a beautiful check-in point. And not only that, but it's happening with this eclipse as well. So this is just a beautiful month. Now, this is also the beginning of Mars moving through your sign and doing really powerful stuff for most of the rest of this year, because he'll be moving through your sign here for the next couple of months, a month and a half, and then we'll keep moving forward, but then is going to come back to meet you during a retrograde. So there's going to be a lot of Mars and Aries energy going on this year, which is going to get you fired up, but there's also a challenge there. So let's talk through the message that I have for you. And then I'm going to pull 4 cards today. It's going to take us through the month kind of week by week and feeling through the energy in like kind of successive 4-card discussion, so I can tap more into the intuitive messages coming through. So I'll be shuffling while I tell you the note that came to mind. So I was sitting in the park the other day, which is the one thing that I do outside of my house, right? I was sitting in the park and just having a nice evening, breathing some fresh air after a long day. And I heard this woman walking by me. Let's see what we have so far. 10 of Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles. I'm a little bit into that. I'm just sitting there, and then I hear this woman's voice as she's walking by say, well, this may be too touchy-feely, but in our last conversation, a lot of themes about trust came up. And immediately I thought, wow, like where have we gone culturally that asking others to trust about trust and asking them to create spaces with trust and asking ourselves to show up with trust is touchy-feely and an extra and a topping and whipped cream and not the foundation of anything that we're going to create a value. When did that happen? I mean, I know it's been happening for a while, but at some point, woo, Empress, dang, you guys have all this earthy goodness, but at what point did this become something that we had to kind of repress and not actually bring up in our lives, whether professionally or personally? And 5 of Wands. Okay, well, you gotta get some of that Aries spirit in our conversation. What would this conversation be without that, right? And yeah, so I was sitting there thinking, and immediately I thought of Aries. I don't know why. And I'm thinking about how so much of the energy this month, between the full moon in Sagittarius, between Mars moving into your sign, even between us finishing out the Venus retrograde and beginning the Mercury retrograde, are asking you to harness your Aries energy, right? This powerful, magical, forward-thinking, action-oriented, fiery energy that is so beautiful and brilliant in a way that feels meaningful and soft and loving. And this is actually a continuation of a long-range cycle that Aries is going to be working through, which is this Chiron process. Chiron has been with you for a little while now and will be with you for several more years. And Chiron is helping us heal this idea of a warrior being somebody who has to be always up in arms into this idea. It's helping all of us shed our armor and reevaluate what it means to be a warrior and what that word means and how we want to implement this kind of powerful initiating energy. And I want to just kind of one more message before we get into these amazing, beautiful cards is that, this is about you honoring who you are, honoring the fact that you've grown and changed. You may look in the mirror and be like, who is this person now? Who am I now? What is this now? What now? I know Jen Pastelov, who's an author, and she does a lot of work with people and listening in. She always says, what now? Okay, all these things happen. We can talk and talk and talk about everything that's happened this year, everybody we've been in the past, but okay, what now? And this is what I think this month, time and again, wave and again, of this energy that is going to be both very introspective and also very visionary and wanting us to look out on the big horizon, both at the same time. It's going to be asking of you that every time. Okay, that might be true, but what now? And this is what I'm loving about these cards. The first 3 weeks in a row, Earth, Earth, Earth. Now, maybe that doesn't have as much movement or fast-paced energy in it. And it's true, these are not fast energies. These do not bring about overnight changes. You don't suddenly have everything done. Boom. Right? These are the kinds of slow, nurturing, nourishing, steady changes, though, that make for very long-lasting happiness in life. Long-lasting happiness is often built on the slowest, steadiest things that we do in our day. And this is that idea of, what do you do before enlightenment? Chop wood and carry water. What do you do after enlightenment? Chop wood and carry water. I think these earthy energies represent that in so many ways. These energies are saying, yes, there's abundance, there's groundedness here, there's love and support and connection here. You may have some really deep earth signs around you, balancing you out, helping you tap in. Maybe you're tapping into your own groundedness, your own wisdom. These are abundance cards for sure. But the way that abundance comes through with 10 of Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles, and Empress is by taking your time, slowing down to speed up. And I want to say this time and again about this month, but it's a really important facet of the way that energy works during eclipses and during retrogrades and during all of them happening at once, like we have this month, that when we take the time to look around at what we have right in front of us, we unlock access to how we move forward, to how we get where we want to go. It's like as soon as we stop trying to peer into the distant future and we just look here, suddenly the clouds part and we can see and it's no longer foggy. And that's completely true. And these energies are speaking to that. So whatever you're doing this month, it's extremely beneficial to you. This is all about building that foundation for yourself in your health routines and your habits and the way you think. It is also, this is all about kind of pruning as well. I would say, you know, the garden metaphors are really important when you have these three on your side, because what do you do to have like healthy plants or healthy garden? You've got to prune, you've got to cut away dead growth, you've got to, you know, pull out any pests, whether that be, whatever the pests are, right? You don't want to keep doing the same thing. Like, you wouldn't pour salt water on your plants, right? And sometimes we pour salt water on our lives, and this energy with Mercury retrograde, with Venus retrograde, and with the solar and lunar eclipses are helping us to notice where maybe we're not even consciously pouring salt water on something that we want to grow. And there's an honesty going on here, but it goes back to when I heard that woman say, maybe this is too touchy-feely for me to want to talk about trust. That isn't whipped cream. That isn't a topping. It's not an extra in life that we get if, you know, maybe if everything else falls in place, then I'll ask for trust. Trust is the foundation. Nothing is built if you don't have trust. You have to have trust in yourself. If you're wanting to like build a family or partnership or business, you got to trust yourself, the people you're working with. You have to build a foundation that feels good, and that has to come from a place of deep self-love and trust. Now, these cards are saying that you're building into that, and I love that. I love that the theme here for me consistently is ease over strife, ease over struggle, building the foundation, leaning into trust, inviting this idea of taking Aries energy and applying it to the deep internal workings of something. Wow, how powerful is that, right? If we take Aries energy and we turn that furnace in on ourselves, how much can we stoke up a beautiful blaze of prosperity and curiosity and playfulness and consistency? Now, whenever you get Queen of Pentacles and Empress, right there it's telling me that if you have anything that's stressing you out, weighing you down, that you keep doing over and over again, it's not working, these energies are a reminder to come back to ease, to come back to what feels good, to come back to asking yourself the basic questions, to come back to whatever version of chopping wood and carrying water is for you. You know, whether that's doing the dishes or doing that 5-minute meditation, it's the simple little things. Now we do have a 5 of Wands at the end here. And this is a powerful month. We're all going to be going through it. Like, let's just make this clear now. Doesn't matter who you are when you were born, what have you. This is a powerful month. There's a lot going on. We're all going to be having feelings. So the 5 of Wands is not that surprising. You know, this is a card of conflict. Yes, it is. Doesn't have to mean catastrophe. What it does mean, whenever we have a 5 showing up in tarot, it means that there is something that wants to be addressed, that needs to be addressed. And often the way we initially address it is with a little bit of conflict, a little bit of friction, just letting our opinions fly. Now, with all this earth energy preceding this card here, this tells me something important to kind of keep in mind this month. Like I was just saying, with harnessing Aries energy in a new lens way. So we take that powerful, beautiful, focused, engaged energy. How can we take that energy and transmute it and help us to have better clarity rather than the friction, and just have the dialogue? And that's what's showing up here. There's a lot of healing energy here. And there are things to address, right? You may be finding this June is a month where you do have some important conversations and you do have to address some things in life. You know, you have to step up and be honest, or hear honesty and truth from somebody else. This is a truth-bringing time, you know, and not paranoid, crazy. You know, we're not looking at like, oh, there's been all this truth has been suppressed and all our paranoid brains are being proved right. See, the truth is coming to the surface. The truth is a lot subtler than that. The truth is when we've been lying to ourselves about something that really hurts, or when we keep playing the same role that doesn't feel good anymore, and we're lying to ourselves and saying we have to do it this way. And this is what's getting challenged here for you. What is it that you say to yourself, I have to keep doing it this way? I have to keep fighting this battle in order to be valuable, in order to be safe, in order to be seen, in order to be held accountable. I can't trust myself unless I feel like I'm on my guard, because all these other cards are telling me a different story. And there's something really important going on here, Aries. And of course, this is going to be your journey through this eclipse season. We'll tap back into all of these, the moon and all of that, and we're going to get even deeper on Patreon. So don't worry, this is just the beginning conversation for June. We're going to come all back to all of these transits and how to work with them when we get a little closer to them. But I do have a solstice blessing to send to my Aries loves with my water, and this is the solstice blessing for you. May you trust this newest version of yourself. May you keep making choices that are nurturing and wise to keep building that trust with yourself. May your conversations and connections get deeper and smoother and sweeter. May the steps be easy to understand. May the road open before you full of love and blossoming. Cheers. Like I said, this is one of my favorite times of year. This is such a magical month. And there's two ways you can approach it. You can approach it with trepidation. There's going to be a lot of memes out there. They're going to tell you that, oh, look out. This month is going to be just a mess. It's going to ruin everything. It's going to turn everything upside down. And, it's very tempting. We have been told to be addicted. I think we've even been told to use astrology and tarot as a way to predict catastrophe in order to feel like we're safe and we can prevent it. And I'm here. The big part of my mission here is to help us understand that that's an addictive cycle all on its own that we're all recovering from. This month is full of magic, but we have to be willing to show up to that table and be okay with the fact that it means we're transforming and that we're doing things differently. And that's fine. We're allowed to do that. There's a lot of really good stuff here for you all, but you got to trust yourselves. I'm sending you so much love. I would love to see you over on Patreon. That is really the best place to connect with me this summer. We're going to be doing more live events over there. I'm going to be adding more and more opportunities to connect over there. I would really love to see you. You can also find me on Instagram at SarahVerba. And of course, I'm wearing PinkLune's gorgeous jewelry every day. You know me. She's always making something beautiful, and she's just one of my best friends and a beautiful soul. So I will leave her link below as well. I will see you all for these eclipses and for more magic ahead. And I love you so much.